this lady life is missing something, but she doesn't realize it because she's so busy with business.
No, I cannot make that business meeting. I've got a different business meeting at 3, and we'll be doing business there.
I was wondering if you're free for coffee.
Oh, no, I can't. I've got a lunch meeting, and then a meeting after lunch. After that...
Shh. Over the next 90 minutes, I'd like to show you that all your problems can be solved by my penis.
Okay, seriously, guys, that is by far the greatest Family Guy joke ever. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a piece of media truly showcase the symbiotic relationship between the male and the female. I mean, seriously, guys, like, that is such a damn good joke. But I often on the channel, I talk about the scent stick and how, it has that calming effect on the female brain, the nutrients and the electrolytes that it needs to let these ladies know, hey, it's gonna be okay, So, yeah, that'd be a rather short video, though, if I only stuck with that. And there's this conversation that I saw Mr. Steven Crowder have with a young lady in the streets that I thought was rather interesting, where she herself is claiming to be intersex. And, I like it. Once again, it goes into the whole gender academia thing, because 30, 40, 50 years of this, wonky science, quote unquote science out there, it being taught to people. Yeah, if you put it in a book, So let's get into this a bit, because I got a plenty to say on it.
Talking about intersex and you're talking about transgender, but for me this is related, because if people are born in between, like in terms of physical manifestation, right?
Sure.
So then why should they have to choose I'm a male or a female if they were not born a male or a female? Like, yeah, that's my question.
Okay,
for you.
so I'm going to go back to answering your question.
Yeah.
All of this was very imperative in answering your question, because you said biological realities, people need to read a textbook, and then you mentioned how somebody expresses themselves, how they identify. There are two different issues. I'd like to address them separately if we can.
But they're
because
not
I
separate.
agree.
That
because
is my
I,
question. You
well,
said
let me
you were
answer.
going to answer my question.
I am answering your question.
If people are biologically
so if we take
born
away, I'm just going to
physically
keep talking as though you're polite here. So.
All right, and I'm going to cut you off there, Steven, because, copyright claims and stuff. Anyways, yeah, so what'd she say? Because with that top popping, I don't know what's going on. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. But definitely, a bit of a tiny bit of a butterface who believes herself to be, intersexual. But regardless, I don't know how wearing that top, wearing that shirt. I mean, that's not too many dudes wear them that low cut, But either ways, when I go into how gender is used to subvert biology, this is ultimately what I'm talking about. All the questions that she has answers for can be found in biology, i.e., if somebody's born abnormally, which does happen, and all sympathy to those who are afflicted from that type of birth defect. But that's the thing, it's a defect, it's an abnormality, and the most important word in abnormality is not the normal, because there's, when it comes to the male and the female, right? It's pretty widely accepted that, we're not the same thing. We have different brains. We, the whole biology thing is truly accepted. And what gender has done is really piggyback off of that. But, let's get into how Steve breaks it down.
Take intersex, and we take, for example,
Klinefelters.
We take, for example, intersex, we take Klinefelters, we take genetic anomalies that are very outside of the norm. So, for example, there's some people we've talked.
Now, I hope you guys notice this, because she's not paying attention. She's listening to what he's saying, but she has no interest in absorbing what he's saying. And it's rather, and she's actually looking to be a bit more condescending, more than likely, because, it's Steven Crowder. He has a bit of a reputation, and, hey, not too bad of one in our eyes over here when you're defending, the idea that biology should be paramount to, God, look up John Money, guys. Seriously, look up John Money.
About this earlier, there are some people who are born without feet. There There are some people who are born with webbed hands. There are some people who are born with 12 fingers and toes. But if what we teach in biology class is that human beings have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 feet, 10 fingers and toes. We don't teach biology. We don't identify biology based on certain based on outsiders. Yeah, we don't.
That's the thing. Based on your subjective viewpoint. It's about what we collectively have witnessed and has been put into, witnessed to a degree where we are right now, that these, terrible ideologies, because I don't even want to call it academia. I don't want to call it knowledge. I want to call it ideologies are taught in schools, and you see what they're doing now with the alphabetical stuff in the middle schools. It's not a game, guys.
Teach biology.
So that's
not how doctors treat biology.
Here's the thing, darling. I don't know. You are not an outsider. You are just missing a sense stick in your life. I'm going to be now. That's your choice. Let's be clear, all right? You do not have to do anything. It's none of my business ultimately, but that's the thing. It's none of my business. The things that are my business is the fact that, you've been taught that, oh yeah, well, because you not taught, but it's also within your biological imperative to place feelings over the rational line of reasoning that, hey, male, female, there's a lot of differences, and sometimes that people are born, different. But it has when it comes to how we address society, how we operate, as a complete society, we have to kind of stick to the rules on this one.
So let me go to so I want to separate what we were talking about there, intersex and a very small percentage versus transgenderism, people who choose to identify who aren't born that way. But because you keep pressuring me on that, let's go to intersex. Let me ask you this. Were you among the statistical reality where you had some very distinct primary sex characteristics as intersex? Because the vast majority of people born intersex are not LGBTQAIP activists. They're people who are born with very clearly identifying traits. It's not just right in between. The vast majority have micro penis and large clitoris, internal testes, and it's pretty easy to identify. So was that the case with you?
Yes, I was identified at birth as being intersex. Okay, but not everyone is, because as I mentioned,
was it the case?
Come on, lady. Because like I said, on that shirt, right? do you have some kind of are you because the way our bodies form in the womb, oversized, clitoris or a micro meat, those are pretty much birth defects that goes to illustrate that anomaly that I was speaking of before, where it does happen, and no one wants to be unsympathetic to those people by any stretch of the imagination. But as far as switching the entire world around based on that whim, no, we can't. Not based on that whim, but based on their reality no, we can't, because of just how everything is pretty much set for us to operate. But as far as her personally, I'm very curious, because I don't think she has some kind of weird. She thinks it. I can't help but feel I feel more of a dude, so thusly I'm intersex. I like to climb trees or some stupid shit like that.
Where you were identified as a female pretty quickly, you had primary sex-defining traits in that of a female.
Well, I was assigned a female because of the choice of the doctor that worked on me. Right? But I was
worked on you? Worked on you, or help your mother birth you? Because you just hear the way she speaks, man. It's very strange.
Born in between. So for me, a doctor made a choice that even though I was born in between, even though they knew because of a amniocentesis, so they knew before I was born that I had XY chromosomes, but because I was born with a vagina, they knew that I was intersex, but because there's a doctor again who plays God and makes a decision.
Wow. Really? God played God, darling. Is this atheism? I don't know. But, we all have XY chromosomes. I'm pretty sure. But you came out with a fully working vagina, I hope, right? Because honestly, Yo, strokes, man. I ain't even gonna stop.
because it's all what's going to go on the birth certificate. I was assigned female at birth.
Okay, so you didn't transition later on in life?
No.
No, okay. So my question again for you is because the statistics would reflect that the overwhelming majority of people born intersex are not just born directly in between the two. There's a very clear delineation with identifying sexual characteristics with male and female.
That's so not true. There's chimerism. There's
if we remove intersex and very small percentage of outliers. Let's say it's the 1.7. I don't agree, but we'll go with that. Now we're addressing the transgender issue, that gender is a spectrum. So,
yes.
Why? How many genders are there? Why do we go with that? Because that's very separate from genetic anomalies of intersex.
Right. Gender is a societal construct. So.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Every time I've heard this argument, I've heard that it was sex that's the social construct, you know, or the roles that are the social construct. And now in this video, we learned that it's gender in and of itself that's a social construct. And I'm still waiting to hear something from anyone. And that's a big part of the reason why I do these videos, is because I don't want to live in an echo chamber. I would love for somebody to explain to me how any question that, you know, you guys have taken up via gender hasn't already been taken care of via biology. Anybody? Anyone? You?
As my boss mentioned, there is a spectrum. So some people identify purely female or purely male. Some people identify in between.
Most people, sweetie. That's the thing. I mean, shoot, I'm enjoying this this chesticle work, but the deal is that it's not some. It's most people I identify as purely male or female, because guess what? Most people are biologically male or female, you know, outside of the anomaly that we just got finished talking about.
You already talked about the different pronouns that are available, and it's based on your
feelings.
You're something intrinsic that you were born with in your head. So we've proven, for example, that in terms of sex...
Feelings. And unfortunately, we cannot base reality around any one individual's feelings. Jeez.
Orientation, that being gay is not a disorder. It's just like a biological reality. It's a human condition, right? And,
But see, here's the thing, and that's when it comes to the whole alphabetical thing. I mean, even up into this, if this woman wants to identify herself as an intersex, all good, right? I couldn't care less. It's about pushing policies and really, like, you know, making a big stink when the rest of the world doesn't capitulate to your idea of what it should be. That's really where the true danger comes in, and that's why gender being as prevalent as it is, as even a concept. Like, that's the thing, and it's a bit not infuriating, but aggravating when you know, like, to watch people kind of like play into the idea that gender is actually a thing, because really it reinforces it's antithetical to biology in and of itself, right? I'm telling you guys, Hungary has shown us the way. So I kept going on this because, you know, nothing works better than, you know, the way chesticles sway in the breeze and the like. But we're going to bring it to an end here. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike. Go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of the boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Okay, so yeah, strokes without question. I mean, a little bit of a butterface. I ain't going to stunt, but that's the thing about ladies of paler complexions, is that, you know, all that takes is just like pull that hair down, take those glasses off, and you got yourself the chick from, well, like every trope in the 90s movies. All she got to do is take that hair down, pull those glasses off. You got a bangle on your hands. But either way, let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Not just about her, because yeah, we misogynist over here, but about the constant reaffirming of the idea of gender and how it's become so prevalent in just society as a whole, to whereas it's taken as gospel for a couple of generations now that don't really realize the nonsense that they've that they brought into. Like, that's the thing about being an early millennial, is that, you know, back in the late 80s, we were still heavily focused on biology. The gender thing didn't really take off until the mid 90s. And sitting here now, like particularly during the Clinton administration, if anybody really noticed, and until now, it's like, okay, we are now witnessing the fruits of that labor, because we have all these people out here, well, I think I'm a victim, so I'm a victim, even though I got all these degrees and make 6 figures a year and all the, and I want to cry about slavery, despite the fact that, yo, I make millions upon millions of dollars. Either ways, guys, let me know what you are thinking in the comments, and until the next one.